Yeah, it's definitely exciting, to have a great group of teammates around me. So I'm looking forward to it.
Ashton, how do you feel about going to the AFC West? 4 coaches that have been to or won a Super Bowl, and of course the Chiefs have won the division 9 straight years. Just talking about going to the AFC West.
Yeah, just a competitive division, but I'm ready to compete. And, that's what you want, and I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, and ready to shake things up a little bit.
You got an Asian flag on it, right?
Yep. Nabule.
Actually, you're playing for Pete Carroll, who is famous for drafting Marshawn Lynch and having a running back like that. Do you look up to Marshawn Lynch's play style, or do you think you can replicate that down the Raiders?
Yeah, he's one of the first running backs I started watching, and I just love, his aggressive style of running. So definitely looking forward to that. And he just texted me earlier, so yeah, so it's pretty dope.
You have a sweet tooth like him with Skittles? Is there a candy you prefer?
Yeah, not quite Skittles, but I'm more of a Sour Patch Kids guy. No, it's great. Just from the short time of knowing him, I can see why so much people like him, and how much success that he's had as a coach and as a player. So I'm excited to be another player part of that. Just to be the next one, just continue carrying on the legacy of greatness that's been there in that facility. Man, tremendously. I think most importantly is how he's helped me as a man of God, and in my faith. I think that'll last longer than anything that I'll do on the football field. I mean, it's everything, whether I play good or bad, no matter what, my family, the people who are there for me, in those moments, it's big time, and, I'm just grateful to have that great support system. Yeah, man, that guy right there, once they told me he was, getting the job, I knew that, there was nowhere else to be, and, I knew they would give me a little bit of, change, so, but I think for me it's, legacy, it's impact, you can't buy those things, there's no price tag you can put on that, and, Boise State was the only place that I could continue that and leave something, that would be there for forever.
What are some of the challenges you're looking forward to?
Learning a new playbook, obviously better competition, each and every week, and, just getting better in the places that I need to, so that I can be an asset, to the team off the rip.
Ashton, I think we have a question. So, hey, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Doing good. When I talked to you a month ago at the Combine, you talked about the great running backs in this league. What are your initial thoughts on how to cement yourself as one of them?
Yeah, I think, I'm going into, a great system, so I know they'll, give me the ball, give me opportunities to, make plays for the offense, but just continuing to get better, taking it to the next level and the hard work that I do, and, it'll continue to translate on the field.
Ashton, you trained Ronnie Braxton in Dallas. Why do you help you get this training?
Real truth, man. Man, he just pushes me to, another level, right? And he keeps it real with you each and every single day. So I'm just grateful for that relationship, to have him, and, he'll continue to help me, get better and, get stronger and faster and, be a great running back. Man, it's gonna be weird, man, but I gotta go back to the regular green grass, but I'm excited for it.
New city, new jersey, new team. What stays the same for Ashton?
who I am, the person that I am, what's got me here, the work that I put in, the humbleness, the energy, the passion, all of that will never change. In a lot of ways, just, Haitian culture, just, the influence of, having people, take over the country and, not getting things, the way they're supposed to, or, having to work for each and every single thing. And, my family being from there, that's, been put on me to, work for every single thing that you get, because it's always earned, it's not given.
Ashton, you meet Chris Jones in the hole. You got a move or two ready for him?
I do, for sure.
Ashton, what was it like having your head coach and your athletic director and your trainer with you in that moment? What was it like?
It's amazing, because they helped me get to this point. They put a lot into me. They believed in me, when nobody else did, and I'm grateful to share that experience with them. Man, I'm just super excited, just ready to run through a brick wall.
Ashton, do you have a message for all the fantasy football players? They are so happy that you are a Raider right now.
Shoot, draft me so you can win your, fantasy football, championship.
Last two, guys, last two.
Say that again, sorry. I can't tell you exactly, but it's going to be amazing for sure. Probably just take a tour of the city, see everything.
I heard Buffalo Wild Wings, but I saw
Yeah, maybe some Buffalo Wild Wings.
One more. What do you have to say to Raider Nation about you coming?
And they're getting, a great person, and, I'm going to come in and, do my thing. And I'm just super excited, for Raider Nation. The energy, I love the fan base already. So I'm excited to come into that community and, bring change for the better.
Love you and so much.
Thanks, guys.
Baby.
Yes, sir.